Good morning, I'm Tom from Ledgemere Heritage Farms, and one of the things I want to talk about today is overwintering chickens in a cold environment. I said feed, water, sunlight, no draft, and access to, you know, outside, and keep your litter clean or just keep piling it on, and then in the spring you clean it all out. One of the things we've done this morning is to add fresh shavings over the old layer of bedding, and the reason we do that is because the bottom layer will compost, and so that composting action will actually create some warmth, so the floor will warm up a little bit. They don't have heat out here. They're on their own. And the thing about chickens is great is that they can survive in the cold weather, and they'll do just fine. We have plenty of eggs. We have about 40 birds out here and still get 30-ish eggs a day. And one of the reasons that we are able to do that is because we mitigate the things that would cause the birds to seasonably stop laying. And one of those things that happens is as the fall and winter come, it gets dark earlier. And so one of the things we do about that is we have a light on a timer that is on for 14 hours a day. Behind me here is a Premier One heated waterer, and that replaced one that I bought at Tractor Supply a year or so ago, and the heating element crapped out on me within 12 months. And so I'm hoping that this one will last a lot longer. They're pretty pricey, but the alternative is that you have to have two waterers. You bring out one in the morning and take one in, and then at night you do the opposite. So you've always got one inside thawing and one out here freezing. With this one right here, you plug it in, and the thermostat comes on. The thermostat will control the water temperature. So if it's above 35, it's off. If it's below 35, it comes on. I just have it sitting on I think it's a 3.5 gallon bucket with a chain on top just in case the chickens get rowdy and they knock it over. I don't have a spill, and the chickens don't have water. So far so good. It hasn't fallen over. The bucket's working great. The water hasn't frozen. Now, to my left it's just an old galvanized chicken feeder. Back in the 50s and 60s, Maine was pretty big with poultry business, and after its demise, these things were a dime a dozen. So I picked up several of these, and I've got them hanging around here, whenever I have baby chicks or extra animals, then I can pull one out. This here is just a squirrel deterrent for a hanging feeder outside, and the reason I've got that in here, same reason as the waterer. The chickens aren't climbing on it. They're not messing up the feed inside, and so I've got good clean feed in here. I stick with a crumble from Poultry grain up in Vermont, or a layer pellet, and I stick consistently every week the same feed. I never change. I never buy what's on sale. Don't get what's on sale this week and then next week go back to something else. Blue Seal one week. It's just the chickens will need to get adjusted to that, and it could be the smallest amount of difference in the feed, but it'll affect their laying. The chickens just don't adapt well to change. So, if you buy some layer hens from somebody, there's, the guy said they were laying, and then you buy them and bring them home, and they stop laying. It's because the chickens don't like to change, so it's going to be a few weeks before they start laying again, and so they'll lay whatever's for a couple days after you get them, and then nothing. Or you upset the chickens, you change their feed, they go without water for a few days, they're stressed, they're going to stop laying. So we do everything we can to mitigate stress with our birds. These birds are free-ranged all the time. They have access to clean, fresh water, outside pasture. Right now it's wintertime, we have snow, but the chickens are out there just finding whatever the cows have dropped. They're going and picking out through the hay. They're finding dropped grain from the feeders that the cows had, and they are getting exercise and access to fresh air. One of the things too about these chicken houses is you don't want them buttoned up. Just because it's comfortable for you doesn't mean it's comfortable for the birds. You've got methane gas and all the other smells and stenches from the birds excrementing and excreting, and we don't want to breathe that in because it'll make them sick and they'll get pneumonia, and then you've got extra problems. So one of the things we do here is we keep well-ventilated birds. Their coops are well ventilated, but they don't have drafts, so chickens are happy. Chickens get a little cold, they'll huddle together, and they're comfortable. Chickens will adapt well to cold weather, but you got to give them a chance. You can't have them in a warm coop and then let them out. They can't adapt to that. But as the fall progresses and cold weather sets in, don't worry about your birds. Now, if you've only got 3 or 4 birds, that may be a different story. But here I've got 40-ish birds, and they never have trouble. I don't lose birds to cold. I don't lose birds to inclement weather. The only time I ever lose a bird here is because you might have the off chance of a chicken hawk or a predator gets one, or sometimes they'll get egg bound, which is another topic that I could talk about another day. But we don't lose chickens because they're cold or because of weather or because of disease here. The chickens are healthy, and it's really simple to keep your chickens happy. You just need clean water, you need good feed, and you need cover. You need shelter for those birds. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. Thank you.